Greetings to all. Today let us learn about a life principle topic. Embracing change, thriving in times of transition. Change is an inevitable part of life. It can come in many forms and may be positive or negative, but how we respond to it is what defines us as individuals. Embracing change is not always easy, as it often involves stepping outside of our comfort zones and facing the unknown. However, when we choose to embrace change, we can thrive in times of transition and grow as individuals. This podcast will explore the principle behind embracing change and provide biblical examples to illustrate this concept. Our first principles for embracing change is personal growth. When we embrace change, we open ourselves up to new experiences and opportunities for learning. This can be seen in the story of Abraham in the book of Genesis. God called Abraham to leave his home and travel to a new land that God would show him. Abraham had to leave behind everything he knew and step into the unknown, but by doing so, he grew in his faith and developed a deeper relationship with God. Similarly, when we embrace change and step outside of our comfort zones, we can learn new skills, gain new perspectives, and grow as individuals. A second principle for embracing change is the pursuit of a better future. Change can be a catalyst for positive transformation, and when we embrace it, we can create a better future for ourselves and those around us. This can be seen in the story of Joseph in the book of Genesis. Joseph was sold into slavery by his own brothers, but he did not let this setback define him. Instead, he embraced the changes in his life and used his skills and abilities to rise to a position of power in Egypt. Through his leadership, he was able to save his family and the entire region from famine. By embracing change and working towards a better future, Joseph was able to overcome adversity and achieve great things. A third principle for embracing change is the belief that it is part of God's plan for our lives. The Bible is full of stories of individuals who were called to embrace change and follow God's plan for their lives. This can be seen in the story of Moses in the book of Exodus. Moses was called by God to lead the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt and into the promised land. Moses faced many challenges along the way, but he trusted in God's plan and embraced the changes that came his way. Through his obedience and faith, he was able to fulfill God's plan for his life and lead the Israelites to freedom. A fourth principle for embracing change is to overcome fear. Fear can hold us back from making positive changes in our lives, but when we choose to embrace change, we can overcome our fears and become stronger as a result. This can be seen in the story of David and Goliath in the book of 1 Samuel. David was a young shepherd boy who faced a giant Philistine warrior named Goliath. Despite being afraid, David trusted in God and embraced the challenge before him. He used his skills and faith to defeat Goliath and become a hero to his people. By embracing change and facing our fears, we can achieve great things and overcome seemingly impossible obstacles. A fifth principle for embracing change is to fulfill our calling or purpose in life. Each of us has a unique purpose or calling that God has placed on our lives, and embracing change can help us fulfill that purpose. This can be seen in the story of Esther in the book of Esther. Esther was a Jewish woman who became queen of Persia during a time of great upheaval. When her people were threatened with extermination, Esther embraced the changes in her life and used her position to save her people. Through her courage and obedience, she fulfilled God's purpose for her life and became a hero to her people. By embracing change and following God's calling on our lives, we can fulfill our own unique purpose and make a positive impact on the world. Finally, the sixth principle for embracing change is to deepen our relationship with God. Change can often bring us closer to God and help us rely more fully on His strength and guidance. This can be seen in the story of Paul in the book of Acts. Paul was a devout Jew who initially persecuted Christians, but after a dramatic encounter with Jesus on the road to Damascus, he embraced a radical change in his life. Paul went on to become one of the most influential figures in the early Christian church, spreading the gospel message and strengthening the faith of countless believers. By embracing change and growing closer to God, we can deepen our own relationship with Him and become vessels of His love and grace to those around us. In conclusion, embracing change is an important part of personal growth, creating a better future, and following God's plan for our lives. Biblical examples such as Abraham, Joseph, and Moses demonstrate the rewards that come from embracing change and stepping into the unknown. While change can be difficult and scary, it can also lead to great opportunities and blessings. As we navigate times of transition in our own lives, may we be inspired by these stories and embrace the changes that come our way with faith and courage. May God bless you.